Hello, folks. There's an organization in this town that reaches into the underserved community with services for at-risk families, and they're here with us. It's called United and Guided, and we'll talk to them right after this.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Richard Johnson, and I'm one of the co-founders and COO of United and Guided.
My name is Imani Lucas. I'm the executive director of United and Guided.
I'm Miss LaShanya. I'm out here at Papa Bear's Village. I am the project coordinator for United and Guided.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Coming at you live and direct from Papa Bear Village, a.k.a. Tahoe Park. My name is Joseph Thomas. I'm one of the co-founders of UnitedandGuided.org. United and Guided is an organization in which three fathers got together and created a platform in which we can provide wraparound services to the city of Sacramento.
We really do this work on a daily basis, and it's done by people who are parents themselves. We're a peer-run organization. We're 501c3, and we've been working in the community since 2017. So we're just really happy that now, being in 2023, we are still doing that type of work, and we get to live out our passions and actually be a family while doing it and sustaining our families. Today is one of our many programs of United and Guided. We call this Self-Care Sunday, and that happens every sunny Sunday right out here at Tahoe Park.
We are up here today kicking off our Junior Kings and Queens basketball co-ed league, which consists of 3 different leagues, high school, junior high school, and elementary school.
Bring your kids out. If you have them from ages all the way up to high school, it's free. We will feed them. I wish you could have seen today what was going on, but we have a vendor who brought hot dogs and fruit and chips out. This is something we do every single sunny Sunday here at Tahoe Park.
We have a variety of different things that we do here, but the main thing is this is around Black infant health and around perinatal equity and early infant childhood deaths, which we know in our Black community, babies are dying 4 times faster during, before, and after birth.
If you need more services, you can go to our website, www.unitedandguided.org. I am a doula, certified doula. I have my brother Richard, who's also on the team of Team Doula.
We also do doula services from a co-ed level, and that's working with all types of families and being able to work with people from birth to adulthood, starting with the perinatal stage, making sure that mother and father are together and that they are working together with a doula team of a male and female to give both perspectives and to really promote parenthood for the birth of a child. We feel that leads to the prevention of many other things, including the prevention of violence and the prevention of poverty.
We also provide mental health peer support, career consultation. If you want to start a business, if you just want to revamp your resume, we can do all that. There is nothing that UAG or United and Guided don't do.
It's just a family event to come out and get some self-care. And we all know around mental health, it's all about, trauma and those bad memories. So what we try to do here at Papa Bear's Village with our Self-Care Sundays is try to create new memories with the community and family, and it goes great every Sunday.
Our next event will be on June 18th. That is our Dad-teenth. It will be our 2nd annual Dad-teenth. We will be doing steak dinners for all our dads. There will be entertainment fun for the whole family. For those that are vegan, we'll support you too. We'll have some vegan products out here for you as well.
June 18th is coming on, man. This is going to be our second annual Dad-Teen Festival. Free steaks for dads. You need to bring your father out, have a good time. We'll have entertainment out here. We'll have food, but bring your dad most importantly, because it's the day that we get to roll out the carpet for him and really show our dad's appreciation. Right here at Tahoe Park, 3501 59th Street, right here in Sacramento, 95820.
You guys not doing nothing, come out, come support us. You can find us at UnitedAndGuided.org, Black Fathers Inc., Culturally Connected, Brotherhood for You. Come check us out, man.
There it is, second annual Dad-Teenth celebration. Papa Bear's Village, Tahoe Park. That's really great. Thank you so much for coming. You know, Amani, when you were here last year, I thought, oh, wow, that's really great. I hope they stick around because it looks like something really great for the community.
Yes.
And you did.
Yes, yes.
It's fascinating, and I find it really great. And then when I went through the programs that you actually provide throughout the year, I found them strong, and they seem to be connected, all connected with one idea, is to help a family stay in the boat.
Yes.
I find it fascinating. And thank you for coming to talk to me about it, because it's something you should come here every year and do. You know, tell me about the event, just briefly about the event, this Dad-Teenth celebration.
Yes, so this is our second annual, and we do a combination of Juneteenth and Father's Day. So we really want to celebrate the dads, but we also want to celebrate Juneteenth, which is often overlooked as a holiday. So being able to combine those two just makes for a great time for fathers to come together, for children to come and appreciate their dads, and to just have a really nice day in the park.
So, Richard Johnson, you were walking down the street one day, and you said, I think I'm going to co-found an organization. Is that what happened?
Sort of.
Whoa.
What happened was it was a group of parents who came together and made that decision, and we all worked in the field of service, and we just wanted to create a organization that was caring, organization that was a mental health peer ran, and that was real serious about the mental and physical health of our community entirely.
Yeah, I've worked in a number of cities before I came to Sacramento, throughout California, with programming, service programming, and I've never seen one like this. It's kind of like unique. Maybe someday someone will come in and say, "We're going to make it go across the United States." Yeah. Fascinating, fascinating. And LaShawna, you are the one that takes the brunt of it, because you are the person that has to reach out and say, I'll take your check. I'll take your check.
Yes, and also just to make sure that we're building connections with individuals that believe in the mission of United and Guided as well. So I've been knowing these guys for over 12 years. We worked in the past together, and so they kept saying, we're going to come get you, we're going to come get you. And I volunteered for almost a year before I even, became employed. I just bought into it and came in with passion and understanding. So yeah, I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world.
I can see it. I can see it.
Absolutely.
Well, and tell me a little bit about the programs, because the programs are fascinating. They have interesting things like restorative justice. I don't know what that means. That sounds really interesting. Restorative justice.
Yes.
And I love these other terms. Conflict mediation. Well, I get that. That happens in my house every day. But tell me a little bit about how this came to be in a kind of a programming kind of way. And I understand the other events like the Dadteenth, not the Juneteenth, Dadteenth celebration is actually a celebration of, for the community.
Yes.
But the services, on the other hand, they reach into where there's maybe hurt and alienation and all kinds of good psychological problems.
Yes. Well, mainly there's sustainability in services.
Yeah.
So the reason why we've sort of have evolved from doing specific programs is because we all come from a programming background.
Did I say the word program again?
Yes. So
Sorry,
this,
but-
I'm glad that you brought it up because we try to distinguish between the two.
That's right.
It's usually a program. It's funded by a foundation or it's funded by a city who may have some specific ideas of how to address community harm. But they get to the point where, that organization, instead of growing organically, they're going by those programmatic standards. So being able to work with people in our community who have this lived experience and, they want to help because they would probably do it for free, but to be able to train and certify these folks so they have legitimate positions in the healthcare field, in the justice field, in the education field, right, to be able to provide those services. So a lot of what we do are areas where we were trained and certified to be able to provide those services to institutions. For example, our conflict resolution, restorative justice work, that is a solution that we're using as a violence prevention alternative. Of course, it won't resolve every fight, but now there is an alternative for students who get into fights on the school level. There's an alternative for parents who don't get along with school administrators or teachers, right? And we can provide a service to them to where we're a third-party community who doesn't take side on either one, but helps them come to a satisfying resolution before it gets legal and or law enforcement gets involved, right?
Wow.
So when you do that at that level, the long run becomes less conflict at school or less conflict between parents, teachers, and administrators, right?
And the relationship you set up with, let's say, a family that goes through that process, do they stay with you?
Yeah, so, and that's a really good part of it because, sometimes our families are able to come to a resolution, sometimes they're not, right? Because it's a voluntary process, it's really up to the parties. But everybody gets the service and the courtesy of being invited out to Tahoe Park, our Papa Bear's Village that we do weekly. So what we've had are some parents that come and they decide to spend time at the park. From there, they go into some of our listening sessions and groups, and we do monthly listening sessions for fathers and parents to get together, and they become a part of the community that can help others once they develop some of that lived experience and care.
Oh, that's brilliant. I wish, my family, my father was an immigrant. He could hardly speak English, and there wasn't any services for him, and he was frustrated, come home frustrated because he couldn't tell his boss something, he didn't get the words right. So I understand why a community would need this, and to see it in our community, it's great.
Absolutely.
So how is it in program development and rising? I didn't mean to say program.
There we go. Now you're learning.
I'm
Rick.
learning it. in providing support for the services, because there are people who need to get gas and food, and then they're professionals.
Right. Well, we meet them where they're at. So one thing we do is we listen to the need, right? And then we'll link them to the resources as needed. So just not a piece of paper and a phone number, right? Let's make the call together. Let's take the steps together to get what your needs met. we found that, and then just involving them in other services that we provide. So we talked earlier about the restorative process. Well, just think about going through those steps. What it does to one of our other services we provide is the mental health. If I can get those stressors relief and that support that I need, then my mental is stable, right? And then I can navigate and be able to meet my basic needs. So we look at it that way as a team, you know, just not as an expert, but looking at the family. What have you tried? What do you need? What can we do? How can we support? And we take that all into consideration, and we'll just help them resolve, and then they become empowered as well. So.
And Richard, your experience has it been positive in terms of being able to work with husbands who are in a kind of a cyclic problem?
Oh, it's been it's been amazing to see the growth in a lot of the services that we provide to the community. It's definitely a need. The consistency and the follow-up are the two most important things.
I see.
Like Ms. Brazil alluded to about, you know, they're not just another, you know, paper on the desk, right? You know, they actually matter to us when we get a family that's going through something. We take the time to really listen and try to make United and Guided the last stop, because, you know, this is you know, real confidential information, and having to tell those experiences to several different people, it can add to that stress level. And so we try to come in and take as much of that away as we can, because they're doing the work. We just have the platform. When the families are ready, they're coming in, they're putting the work in. It's not like United and Guided is doing this, you know, amazing work where we're just turning families around. The families are putting the work in. United and Guided is listening to the families.
Thank you. I see that, and I can see it take a long time. All right, we have to take a short pause for the cause. We'll be back in just about 2 minutes with more about United and Guided.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Can you see anything different as a pill?
No.
You don't know?
Fentanyl is being mixed into everything now. There's only one thing that will save somebody's life. That is naloxone nasal spray.
Fentanyl, it's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
Why would drug dealers put a lethal dose of fentanyl in drugs if they know it's so harmful?
Really just all about the money.
I just didn't realize that one pill could change your whole life.
More kids should know.
In 4 days. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children. She didn't know what to do.
Did you have a good day at school?
She gave them some broth without any bread.
There you go.
And kissed them all soundly.
Night-night.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Okay, we're back with LiveWire, and with us, joining us, is Joseph Thomas, who is also part of the big team of United and Guided. Thank you very much for coming, sir.
Hello, hello, hello. How you doing today, sir?
I'm hanging in.
Yes,
These
sir.
guys are doing great.
Cool.
And I know that you've been working with the organization for
Yes, sir.
A long time.
Yes, sir.
And we were talking about programs and how they work together and what they do, and the undercore of how this tough work, which is reaching into families that are in stress,
right,
or distress, or being distressed,
right,
and bringing them out of it. It's like lifting them out of hell.
Right. Well, at United and Guided, we try to pride ourselves on being more specific about services than programs, right?
Yeah.
Because we feel like when you do services, you get a more hands-on approach dealing with the community.
Sure.
We've been active in the community since about 2017, doing the work specifically. But we've been volunteering since about 2015, right? And we just pride ourselves on making sure that we can meet the needs of the community.
Yeah. And you have a fundraising event, or it's just a fundraising event, one or the other, coming up. When is that?
Okay, we have a event coming up called Dad Tink. That is on June 18th. We're going to be getting together with about hopefully 100 dads, giving away T-bone steaks, using that platform to also provide services for the community. So we're going to be bringing out several different organizations that will be setting up wellness tables and information like Her Health First, perinatal equity program, Junior Kings and Queens Rise, and a lot of different supporters that support us throughout the calendar year. So we're going to have a little bit of entertainment. We're going to be hopefully servicing about maybe 100 to 200 people that day.
Yes.
That sounds really great.
And to be clear, Ray, it is not a fundraiser. This is a way that the community has come together to be able to support others out in the community. So a lot of the donations that already came and sponsorships are through our strategic partnerships out in the community, institutions like Anthem, and then community-based organizations like the Black Parallel School Board, Black Child Legacy Campaign. Those have donated either supplies or some funding just so we can pay our artists to perform and things like that. So this is not where we reach out to the community for fundraising because the communities has already contributed to make this happen.
Okay, all right. Sounds fascinating. And the fascinating thing to me is that it is an organization that reaches into the dark problems that we face as a community, within the community, and tries to and brings out people into maybe a better position in their family and their lives. It's fascinating.
Well, like my brother was saying earlier, my brother Imani Lucas was saying earlier, we have a couple different organizations that we are directly connected to. We have a cohort we have called Black Fathers Inc., to where we do listen sessions and also podcast sessions, right? We just got done fulfilling a 9-series podcast session to where we brought in several different public speakers from the neighborhood talking about different issues that affect us in general, right? So we were able to put a circle around a lot of the needs that was going on in the community, then double back after the podcast and fix those circles, right? Put people in position to help aid and fix those situations. So what we do is we try to partnership up with a need in the community and try to figure out what services can we provide to fix what's broken to that need. And that's one of the things that we specialize in.
That's great. There's a video that we're bringing that talks about that a bit. It's about volunteers, and it's called the Papa Bear Tip Number 1.
Right.
Let's have a look at it. Okay.
You are an example. Somebody's watching you, and even as just being in a space where there are men, as a young man, I watched because I didn't really have a father in my life, and so as a young man, I spent a lot of my time just watching the older men around me, and that's where I got the game from, just watching older people, and then I got to decide whether I wanted it or threw it away. So just by seeing different things and being in different spaces and with different men, I was able to say, yeah, I need that. I need to pick. Yeah, I like that part about his character. I like how he handled that. I like this about him. I like that. And having men I could actually see and touch was vital.
So we're back with United and Guided, talking about the services that they provide, and I find it's just more this year than last year that there's a real genuine effort to reach into the community and the powerhouse.
Yes.
So we were talking about the kinds of services. We talked about earlier, what was it? Collective impact, I don't know.
Talk about conflict mediation, restorative justice.
Yeah. So it's a slow process, right? That if you're mediating in a family problem, it's a process of finding out where the issues are, and uncovering the issues, talking to the issues, and dealing with it. I'm not a psychologist or a psychotherapist, but that's kind of what it is, where it's like psychotherapy for families.
Yeah, I guess you can refer to it as that, Ray, but really it's just plain old-fashioned trust building, right? There's always issues between trust of particularly people of color and large institutions. So your legal institutions and your health institutions and your education institutions, there are very large disparities in the public health of certain individuals there. So the reason being that we use people with lived experience from the community to be able to provide services through their own certification and training, to be able to outreach to others who may be living that similar experience.
I see.
And really that's the bigger connection, and that's what differentiates itself from just a program, which could end at any time or change at any time depending on who the program director is.
Amen.
Right.
So what is a family that has some kind of issues going on, what are they usually left with when, or are they left with?
When you're speaking about the conflict mediation?
Yeah.
Well, it's a for years in the community that I'm from, we've been putting out fires and dealing with conflict, but it wasn't in a process. So what a conflict mediation does is it brings a process to the table where the two biggest components is listening and validating. So it's no longer, you go this way, you go that way.
I see.
Right, and then, 3-4 months later, you have a larger incident that took place. So with parents, kids, landlord to tenant, teacher to admin, parent to teacher, is they walk away with one, knowing that the next time something like this happens, this is the process you would need to go through. And more importantly, they're getting the tools, especially the young people when we talk about the fights at school. Yeah. They're coming in and they're getting tools to go back to school and hopefully not, re-offend in that same situation, because now they understand, they had a chance to really sit and listen. And that's both ways. And so when you leave, it's either we come to a happy medium, either to be friends again or just to understand that, we'll say hi and you will go your way and I'll go my way.
Got it. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming to talk to me about this, and I wish you well, and I will see you at the United and Guided.
Papa Bear Village Juneteenth Festival.
Okay. All right.
Dad
Okay.
Teeth Festival.
We'll be back next week. We got to run now, and we wish you well, folks, and take care.